So now I'm going to show you how to work the 5 to 1 decrease. Basically, you're going to work up to the point where it says to do the decreases, and this is your bobble, and you're going to work these 5 stitches into 1 stitch. So here's where you go. You have to start with the yarn in the back. You slip the first 3 stitches purlwise onto your right needle, and that's step 1. Step 2, you pass the second stitch that you slipped over the first stitch. And then you've decreased 1. Step 3, you slip stitch back to the left needle, take the second stitch on your left needle and pass it over the stitch. Then in step 5, you slip stitch back to the right needle, take your next stitch on your right needle and slip it over, and then you just basically keep repeating these steps. Then you take your stitch, pass it back to your left, up and over, and there you go, you have it. The last step, which is the 9th step, you actually knit this stitch, and you've completed the decrease. I'm also going to show you one more time how to do the decreases. So those are going to be worked, these 5 stitches are going to go down to 1 stitch. So you slip 3 stitches on your needle purlwise onto your right needle. For step 2, you pass the second stitch over the first stitch and just drop it off the needle. Take this stitch, which is your middle stitch, and put it back on your left needle. Then you're going to decrease 1 more stitch by just continuing to take this stitch and passing it over and dropping it off your needle. Slip the center stitch, the main stitch, back onto your right needle. Work another decrease by lifting and dropping the stitch off. Pass it back to your right needle. Take the next stitch, pass it over. You've done your decrease. All that's left to do is step 9, and you actually just knit into this stitch. And there you go, you have decreased it. Your bobbles.